My man.
Yeah.
This is the Raw Way Podcast Show. Unfortunately, as you see right here, somebody's missing.
Yeah.
My man is missing right now. He's not going to be able to be here. You know what I'm saying? We'll probably see him on next week's show. And I'll be trying to tell everybody as we get together, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't believe me, but chlamydia is real. Nah, I'm fucking with you. It's way more serious than that. It's way more serious than that. You know, we joke right here. You know,
Rawism is down, not for the count, but for the moment. You know what I'm saying? We sure that he'll be back on the scene before you even know it. You know what I'm saying? And his presence is definitely missed. You know what I'm saying? Because this like take 4 and shit. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get the shit tight, but everybody plays a vital part apparently in the Raw Way Show podcast. You know what I'm saying?
All that said right here, you know what I'm saying? In case you forgot who you are speaking with, my man right here.
Giddy. And I told my wife the other day, I'm like, wait till Ox hit me off the bricks of this new shit. Peep how this flow come in. I'll bet you jump back on my dick. She smiled a little bit, you know what I'm saying? She knows exactly what I'm talking about. What's up with you, Paul Clark?
This is Paul Clark, that born and raised. Hey, what's up, everybody? How's life been? I was debating with a dude at the shop. You know, he one of them stay woke people trying to convince me.
I'm stay woke, nigga.
Trying to convince me that, there's certain, things that, they don't want a cure for. Ain't no money in the cure. And that's the dumbest shit. Why do y'all say that? Y'all don't put enough thought to it. The cure, everything is in the cure. You know what I'm saying? Let me explain something to you right here. Y'all think that if you find a cure for something, it's just gonna poof, disappear? No, the fuck it don't disappear and shit. There's a cure for gonorrhea, but motherfuckers keep getting it, don't they?
Damn.
You will always have there's a market for that serum over and over and over again. And you know what's more money in that? The vaccine. You know what I'm saying? They got the chicken pox. I didn't even know they had the vaccine for the chicken pox. They had the they got it. It's in our kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? That means every child born in America, you got to keep ordering this shit, or your family's family is gonna eat off if you have a vaccine or a cure. Stop it. This is Paul Clark, that born and raised, you know what I'm saying, Lincoln Parker.
Yeah. I love you, Paul Clark. I love how your mind fucking work, and it's always more often than not in direct opposition to my mind and shit. And that's why I think we got a good bond and shit. We even each other out.
Yeah, you my guy.
So yo, we need to shout out our sponsor right now.
I got a taste for some greens. I want something different. Some chicken from More Famous Kitchen where ain't no ingredients missing. Listen, I want a brisket. I want my cornbread dipstick. Pick up a phone, come get this. They got the biggest sandwiches. Ha. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Is that macaroni and cheese up?
Is that macaroni and cheese up? Is that macaroni and cheese up? Yup.
Our Famous Kitchen. What's the number, Paul?
Man,
252-343-1219. Hit them up, you know what I'm saying? Rawway really know this shit. I don't know this shit. That's just a couple numbers that I spit out real quick, but you know what I'm saying? Get with the Rawway, Our Famous Kitchen, and get you something good to eat. Get your life right, you know what I'm saying? And what do he always say? He say something like, we got you. Okay, we got you.
it's slower than that. It's more like a, yeah. Because you know he got to lick his lips and all that shit, man.
The shit is good food. I guess I'm
got
thinking
you.
about that part.
Yeah.
We
like
got you.
The Billy D just come out. I don't know where it comes. It just comes out. Show you right. It just comes out. It just.
Word, I'm with you. So the awkwardness y'all hearing right now is because we missing our dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really is the quarterback to this whole little shit. Me and Paul, we play our position, you know what I'm saying? But quarterback is not our position at this point. You know what I'm saying? So maybe another time, you know what I'm saying? When I was gone, these motherfuckers ain't miss a beat. Motherfuckers imitate me and shit. I guess that was your raw way imitation right there or whatever, but that shit was weak. You was going in on me, motherfucker. Go, Paul.
It's the funniest shit ever. Cause you so dead serious, like I was telling you in the car and shit. Like Joe Dirt, when he was telling his story, he had no idea how funny the story was and shit.
You was some heartfelt shit. Y'all motherfuckers like
you was our Joe Dirt, you know what I'm saying, for that moment. You know what I'm saying? It was hilarious.
Okay, that's what's up. So on this particular episode 7, we got maybe a few subjects we gonna touch on. The first subject off top is gonna be Kim Potter. That's the officer that shot the young dude. What's his name? What's the young dude's name? Deontay Wright. Shot him thinking she had the taser out and pulled the gun instead. We also gonna touch on the opioid epidemic. It's really hitting hard in the city, particularly on the west side, and these young boys out here on them pills and the fucking lean. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna chop it up about that. The homicide rate in the city, and I think it's a direct correlation between COVID, opioids, like all the shit we dealing with. The homicide rate is shooting through the fucking roof right now. We at an all-time high. We had like maybe I think 186. I thought it was 187, but when the babies and the little young cat got murdered in the car, they said it was 186. Also, we gonna touch on the 4 kids that got kidnapped. I think it was in Detroit. Where is that? In Detroit, right? And the police saved them in the process of making a little stop. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's get the show popping, Paul. What's up?
That's what it is, okay? We talking about the trial, right?
Kim Potter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start off with that. Okay, so Kim Potter, she been a police officer for over 20 years. She in the process of training a rookie that's coming in. Apparently, this particular officer had worked for other police, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying, departments. And he had recently switched over. So it was her job to kind of like trail him and, you know what I'm saying, guide him in the ways of their particular department, how they fucking do shit. Okay, so she was in the process of training a rookie. The rookie is Anthony Lucky. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, as far as this go, you know what I'm saying, it seemed like she had something to prove and then fucked the whole little shit off. What you think, Paul?
Okay, like I say, the media fuck people's lives up and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because the media gonna show you what they have. You know what I'm saying? That trial is gonna show you shit America didn't get a chance to see. And
such as like what you talking about?
I feel
like?
real bad for I feel real bad for this woman. And the reason I'm gonna say this is because there's so much background before this. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean?
Okay, number one, okay, the car had expired tags, right? That was the reason for pulling over. But also the guy had is a restraining order. You know, since somebody had a woman had a restraining order on him. So, and he's riding with a woman, and they don't know if that is the woman or not. We don't know, you know what I'm saying? But you have a warrant already for a gun violation. You know what I'm saying? It was a misdemeanor one. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, you're going to proceed with caution because you're a guy that's around guns. You know what I'm saying? But when they were doing taser training, she was warned several times.
But just
the training. Just listen. So my point is that she had several warnings that in training you were mistakenly keep grabbing for your gun instead of the taser. You keep getting that mixed up. Even in training, you're getting confused about this.
You speaking facts right now?
No,
Paul?
these are facts. These are in the trial right here. This is what I'm saying. So here's another thing.
Nah, man.
Yes.
Paul.
You go through it. You know what I'm saying? They going to everybody. Because, first of all, you ain't had no training? Yes, I had training. You don't think they going to talk to the trainer?
She just had training 2 months prior to this particular
and
incident.
you had that issue anyway. I'm just telling you what's going to be used in court. This is what's going to be used in court. That's number one. Number two is he kept reaching for the gear shift to put the car in drive. There was another officer on the other side. He got in on the passenger side. He got both hands. He got both hands on his hands, trying to prevent him from putting the car into drive. Now, as far as their training goes, is that car is now a weapon. They had like legal right to actually shoot, because if you don't and that car just pulls off and hits a little girl that's in a stroller. We're gonna say, why didn't y'all do something? Y'all had him right there. Y'all could have prevented this. This is what the protecting. This is what the courts is going to do. This is what the lawyers is going to use right there. You know what I'm saying? So there was another officer on the scene that said, taser, taser, taser. That's a call that you make for a taser.
No, that was her. Like, Paul,
no,
you got
no,
this
no,
whole shit.
No. The guy laid, go look in there. The guy, taser, taser, taser.
No, that was her.
No, she the one that grabbed the taser.
No, that was her saying this shit. This is what I'm telling you.
The
like,
first
Paul,
guy said this right here.
Up.
The first dude said right here, he's not going to use a taser because in his training, in a vehicle, you do not tase nobody in a vehicle because their foot can hit the gas or anything. So he said he did not do nothing with a taser. Damn. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do absolutely nothing with a taser. He said he heard a pop. You know what I'm saying? He said he throws a taser. He said that's not a taser. That's a gun. He took the gun from the girl, and that's evidence now. So I got to take your weapon from you. He said. Then he handed her his
Paul,
gun.
How your mind works is
read it.
me.
You got to just go through it. Go through all of it. Go through all of it. You can't just pick and choose. You got to read everything. Look through all of them and find out. No, if you're looking for what you want to find, you're going to find just that. What you want to find.
I agree with a statement like that, but what you saying?
The Wittenhouse thingy. I said the exact same thing. This is what law is going to say right here. So he said then he took his gun out because he thought her reaction immediately was sobbing into tears. Oh my God, I shot him. And she didn't call 911 or nothing
right there.
because
that
she sat up there
everything.
and she had a complete meltdown on the scene right there. There on the scene.
She knows she fucked up.
The officer said the look on her face and the way she was shaking, he then had to remove his gun that he put on her because we got to switch guns. This gun that I have right now, this is evidence. You're never seeing this. He said he took all the bullets out of it. This is the testimony. We took all the bullets out and then gave it back to her. So now she has an empty gun.
When we deal with topics such as this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna have to get with you prior to doing the show so I can see exactly what the fuck you saying. It seemed like you just made all that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because, okay, the rookie officer, again, Anthony Luckett, he was the one, I don't even think they was in the same fucking car. He was the one that chose to make the stop. Now, he chose to make the stop originally because the dude was in, I guess, the left turning lane with a right blinker on or a right turning lane with a left turning blinker on. So it was the wrong fucking blinker. That's what, you know what I'm saying, caused him to zoom in on this motherfucker. Okay, so not only that, after that, he said it was an air freshener. No, he noticed the expired tags. Then he noticed the air freshener hanging in the off the mirror. And all these things are illegal. So that's why, but I believe that this new motherfucker on the fucking team, he got a fucking point to, he trying to impress. He trying to show motherfuckers I know my shit. Like, let me get a fucking stop in the game. You know what I'm saying? My first day in or my first couple days in, whatever the fuck he doing. You know what I'm saying? So in the process of running the motherfucking expired tags, he realized that Deontay Wright has a warrant. Okay, now let's go back to Kim Potter. Now, she is supposed to be training this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So she got a whole little point to fucking prove. You know what I'm saying? So she going hard on backing up the rookie, like whatever the fuck you want to do. You know what I'm saying? She pulled her fucking gun and she's the one that said, taser, taser, taser. No, first she said, I'm going to tase you. I'm going to tase you. Then she said, taser, taser, taser. Meanwhile, it's another cop, sergeant or somebody on the other side trying to prevent him from putting so a lot of shit went wrong in this motherfucker. So originally when they pulled the young dude out the car, you know what I'm saying, and he decided he going to arrest him, you know what I'm saying, he said, this is a fucking rookie move, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't put the handcuffs on him immediately. So when he started flexing or he felt tension, he like, nah, don't do it. But automatically, you should have had them fucking handcuffs on him. Then he couldn't have been able to grab the fucking wheel. He couldn't have been able to put the shit in drive. He couldn't have did shit. He could have sat his ass in the fucking... To the back of the car? They definitely should have... It's rookie, it's fucking mistakes being fucking made right here. You know what I'm saying? So, but the biggest fucking mistake made was Kim Potter. Kim Potter is like, I'm gonna tase you. Taser. Bop. Shoot this young man in his chest. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't where it fucking end. The little fuckery don't end right there.
How
now
about
she hold on, wait, Paul. Now she laying. Now the car done move forward. The rookie fumbling with his fucking handcuffs. The motherfucking sergeant over there like, what the fuck? Now she like, oh my god, I shot him. I'm going to prison. She fucking laying in the fucking grass, crying and shit. Meanwhile, the car done fucking rolled off. They don't even give a fuck about public safety. They don't give a fuck about nothing else. They ain't run down there to make sure they probably could have saved that young man's life if they would have pursued him and pulled him out the fucking car.
Just said, that is what, you know what I'm saying? That is what, you know what I'm saying?
That's what the body cam.
That's what the defense is going to use. That's the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Like
she killed herself. Listen, she killed herself when she said, I'm going to prison. Yes, bitch, you going to prison.
But
bitch, you going to prison.
But my point is this right here.
You know you fucked up.
My point is right here. As law, you know what I'm saying? Even if, fuck a taser, if they felt like they wanted to shoot him, by law, they could have, because it says it right there. That is now a weapon. A vehicle is now a weapon.
You right about that. But you can't say taser, and then bust this motherfucker in his chest. You can't do that.
Listen.
You fucked up. She fucked up in a major fucking way.
Listen. You're saying things morally. I'm speaking lawly. You're saying morally because lawly. No, listen. Lawly, like I just said, whether it's let's say you take the taser and throw it out the window and she just shot. You know what I'm saying? You can say you're not allowed to do that. Her defense would be he's trying to drive off in this car, which is now totally a weapon. Different. I have one officer over here inside of the car, so you're going to drag him also.
She's not going to be on the ground, rolling around, crying.
That's the law.
And these motherfuckers ain't going to be fucking stuck right here instead of running down there.
That is the law.
Trying to stop this car from killing somebody else.
Huh? Yeah, that's what they actually train you inside. If they trained you,
that shit up.
Look,
she fucked it up.
She fucked
up.
She would never said taser.
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking about right here. If you look at the similarities, and first of all, the taser, if you want to go after somebody, why make the taser the same almost shape as the actual gun?
Paul, it's two different things.
That's what the argument is. That's what the argument is right here. The similarity without looking, the taser right by each other.
The taser is bigger in your hand than the pistol.
This is why I said the defense. If you actually watch it, you're going to hear them sit there and say, you know what I'm saying? Even in training, she kept on getting both of them confused. She had several warnings. Even in training, you still have to go out there and work. We're gonna have this kind of training at work, but you still go back and work. You know what I'm saying? Anybody drove a forklift? Once you done driving a forklift in training and shit, you still got to take your ass back to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You still got to go to work, even though you're in training. You know what I'm saying? That's what the defense is going to be.
But this is what you overlooking, Paul. By this point, by 2021, the motherfucking Minneapolis police departments have already been in hot water. They looking bad. The officers in 2015, they killed Jamar Clark, claiming that he reached for another officer's gun and shot him dead. You know what I'm saying? Philando Castile, he was in that same little area, maybe not where he got killed, but in Minneapolis. When he got killed, the motherfucker got spooked and shot him however many times in front of his chick and his fucking baby. Not only that, the motherfucking George Floyd was in the same little vicinity. Like, this is known, this whole little part of the city is known for motherfucking cops being overzealous and, you know what I'm saying, treating black people a certain kind of way.
In this case right here, you can't combine all of them together. No. But in this case right here, the defense is going to actually sit there and say, like I said, fuck a taser. If she shot him on purpose, she will be able to walk. Listen. Just listen to this right here. If she shot him on purpose, you know what I'm saying he was using the weapon as a car and you're going to drag my officer, they will let her off on that. So if she shot him on an accident, you know, she's going to get off of it whether she shot on an accident or on
absolutely
purpose.
Not. Absolutely not.
That's what the defense.
That's fucked up.
This is not my.
You know what I'm saying?
This is why we be sitting here as a people and we be so shocked over shit. Oh my God! Because we don't know what their law is. We keep mixing morals with their law. You have to learn what their law is.
So let me ask you this.
Like, hold on. I'm gonna give you just a quick example. Watch how fucked up the law is. Let's say you know what I'm saying, go over your let's say you go somewhere for 8 months or something. You come back and there's some squatters in your house. I can't just put them the motherfucker out. You know, I can't go in there and beat the fuck out of them and tell them get the. No, I gotta have them up.
I'm going in there beating the fuck out of them.
And they can call the police. They can call the police, and the police will sit there and say they have squatters' rights, and you're gonna have to go down there and pay like $100. You're gonna have to go down there and pay $100 to get a eviction notice. You're gonna have to actually legally evict them to get them out your house. That's the law, but morally, that's some fucked up ass shit. Morally, it's fucked up if I break in your house and I'm on your roof and I cave in and I'm laying here and I break my back. Morally, fuck you, nigga. You shouldn't have been trying to break in my house. But the law says now I get to sue you because of your fucked up roof. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn what their law is, and then you'll understand what's going to happen before it even happens. Like that Wittenhouse shit. I knew what the fuck was going to happen because I'm looking at what the law is, not morals.
So, Paul, let me ask you something now. You know what I'm saying? Who knows the law better than a fucking officer who shot a motherfucker, then laid in the ground crying,
they
talking
don't
about I'm going
know
to fucking prison.
Listen,
like if they don't know the law, how they fucking expect me to fucking know the law?
They know fundamentals of the law. They don't know the law. Listen right here.
Up.
No, listen right here. Just listen right here.
You going to prison, bitch.
But why interrupt what I'm saying though? You said it 5 times and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Why do that right here? My point is this right here. I hate your guts. You know that.
I hate you too, boy. And this will make it so wonderful because I love you, but god damn it, what the fuck are you talking about right now? She going to jail.
Now watch when you learn what the law says.
She going to jail.
How much time she get?
She going.
And if she does go, it's going to be not voluntary manslaughter. It's going to be involuntary manslaughter, and everybody's going to be crying and talking about, oh my gosh, she only got 4 years.
So listen,
you know what I'm saying? And she's gonna go out in like 2 years or 1.5 years for like good behavior. And then we're gonna call it injustice.
Whatever the beef, whatever they fucking decide to do with her. But you can't tell me that all the shit that's been going on leading up to this shit, like she's a victim of the shit just as well as George Floyd or anybody else.
But let me clear this up right here. Like when I say the police don't know the law, they just know the fundamentals. Because you know who knows the law? Lawyers. And you're in school for how long to be a lawyer? You know what I'm saying? Come on now, what is that? Four to how many years? You know what I'm saying? To be a lawyer, it takes that long to learn the law, but it don't take that long to be a police officer. You know what I'm saying? Training camp is how long?
It don't.
How you gonna learn the law? And all that right there. You know your fundamentals of what you see every day.
Motherfucking jury, the jury selection, and you got to add in all the shit that's been going on up to this fucking point. And you got to hope that these motherfuckers ain't sympathetic about all the niggas getting killed and how, you know what I'm saying, how this
But as far as the law goes and as far as courts go, you can't just because that wrong one and that wrong one just say I'm going to convict this one right here because it already shown proof that it's. I don't care if some black guy snatched some white lady's purse and this one broke into a white lady's home. You can't just say I'm gonna convict this guy because of what all them other black people did. It worked both ways. You can't convict people for something just because other past people did.
Your thought process is absolutely ridiculous.
I'm telling you legal. I'm not telling you what mine is.
How many motherfuckers in jail for shit they ain't never fucking did, or in jail spending 100 fucking years for
from
some
stereotype
shit.
Right there. That's the reason why, because of which all these cases of this or what your people did right here and right here. You have to be guilty. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So when it's flipped on the other side, it's just as wrong. And you know, I can't say because your ancestors did this and this. I'm gonna sit up there and I hope you go to jail. And if you're not really innocent. Because what you see on the news and when you look at in the court case, you see things that's not in the news on the court. You're like, I didn't know that right there. You know what I'm saying? You will find out. And if you look at it, stop looking at these fucking news.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Watch the news.
I mean, like I said right here, the news will do you like this. Out of all the fucking Tupac poses that he did, you know what I'm saying?
We told you put that shit on silence. You're fired.
Why the fuck would you pick the most devious photo you could find of Tupac, you know what I'm saying, and of OJ and of Mike Tyson, and that's what the media will do.
That's a systematic
so you gotta
shit
look
that you
into
don't
some
even
shit.
believe in and shit. Like, what are you talking about? What I'm saying is she fucking shot this motherfucker. She screamed out, taser, 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 I'm gonna tase you. Then shot the motherfucker. Then lost her fucking mind, rolling around on the ground crying.
But
they so fucking shook They ain't even go follow the car.
My point is,
see, like, man, is my dude all right?
You're preparing yourself to be disappointed at the end of it because you're neglecting a lot of facts that's in there. So in your mind, listen, in your mind, you're thinking, white lady shot a black person. You did it on purpose because you're in the KKK. Fuck you.
No,
when reality is, she, in her defense, is first of all the taser and the gun thing. First of all, it's already a flaw. If I'm in training, listen. But you're not listening. That's
now you're training a rookie too. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Meanwhile, everybody in here that have been trained to do something, you just on point with it. You the manager and you fucking up. You know what I'm saying? So what makes you think that emergency right here? She cannot be the only officer that's mistaken in training your gun for your taser. I bet you they sitting there right now and they interviewing every cop every trainer to ask, is this common to mistake this? And watching, we're like, yeah, at least about like 30% of officers, they continue to reach for the gun instead of the taser. I bet you that is going to be the defense. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already the defense now to saying she already had trouble with it to begin with.
Listen,
so listen right here. My point right here. This is my point right here. Y'all so worried about the taser part. Y'all so worried about the taser part that y'all keep forgetting when I say that, because you're trying to put the car into drive means we have the right to actually shoot you off riff.
What I'm telling you is,
that's what the law says.
If she pulled her gun and shoot the motherfucker because he reached for the whole little shit, then okay, fuck it. He fucked up. He shouldn't have tried to. But what she said was tight, and then she lost
whether you
her
taser
fucking
or you
mind.
But watch this right here. Here's another thing. That when it was taser, the other there was 3 officers there. One of the officers said he wasn't going to reach for his taser anyway, because in training it says you do not tase nobody that is in a vehicle that's about to move. Well, you know what I'm saying? Because that can make you tense up and that can make you push on the gas. So he said he's not going to tase. So technically she wasn't supposed to tase anyway. She was supposed to shoot. So, you know what I'm saying? Because you're in a weapon now, and you're about to, my officer is in there. That's what the defense is going to be. So fuck a taser. She had the right to shoot anyway.
God.
Well, technically, she made no mistake then, because she didn't reach for a taser. She reached for a gun.
Let me what I would like to do is put some money on this, not on a fucking life, or let's put some. You so strong in your belief that she's going to get away with this shit. Let's put a fucking $100 on whether she going to prison or not.
That's so wrong. Look at you, Rick. These are people's lives that you're gambling with.
On. You know, I'm telling you, like how your bullshit ass theories.
No, it ain't a theory. It's what the law says. If the law says it, you know what I'm saying? Like this right here.
Okay,
this is
Google
so wrong.
that shit.
This is right here.
Google that shit.
This is so wrong right here. I'm watching on the news. Look at the law. Look what law actually does to you. I'm watching right here where it was a boy, and he was probably like 17 years old or something. He took a big old stick and he started to hit a swan on the back. You know what I'm saying? You know what he was charged? You know what he was charged with? Molestation of a geese. Molestation of a geese. Why the fuck would you use that fucking term? You know what I'm saying? Now everybody gonna think you fucking a geese. That's the dude that's over there fucking geese. It said molestation. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what the law is so fucked up that it ain't what it is. It ain't what you think it is. Fuck morals. You can think morally all day long, but I'm telling you what the law is going to say. I'm not gonna gamble on nobody's life. That's not what I'm gonna do. I gamble on the fight. I gamble on the fight.
Paul, you sitting up here.
I gamble that I can drink more of this than you can drink of that.
You going so fucking hard that she fucking
ain't nobody ever said this to you right here.
And the fucking
everybody
law.
Heard this.
She's going
everybody
to prison.
Heard this forever. Know your enemy. And y'all say this and think this and that, but y'all never. Y'all be talking about the white man is what, and then you should be able to.
Why
you should have been able to study
concerning me like the white man is the white man.
Because it's kind of like a race thing. But when you look, I'm just saying, look at that. Look at what they're hitting you with. If somebody is shooting at you, you're gonna say he shot me with what? You don't know what it is. They're gonna let you. Man, he shot me with the desert. He shot. You don't know what they shooting at, but you ain't gonna take the time out your life to even look at what laws is and certain things and to find out what your laws are. Yeah, you're supposed to. So when you find out what their law is and you squint your eyes and turn your head sideways, like, the fuck? That's the law? It's still the law, even though morally we say that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So they going to hit that shit. Everything is law.
You say law. She's going to jail. For how long?
Like Wittenhouse.
Nah, that was something totally different because them motherfuckers was kicking him in his face and hitting him with a fucking...
But when I was saying that, y'all was like, nah, fuck that. He went to a rally with a gun. Like, you intentionally did this.
Didn't nobody say that? You listen back to that motherfucking podcast Ain't nobody say
I was by myself.
yay or fucking nay. Didn't nobody give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
By myself. That's where I was at, in the corner.
That's fucked up. She going to jail. She
Yeah,
going
and even if that is
she
so,
knew.
that's
She
still
knew
a
it
win.
immediately.
That's still a win.
She knew it immediately. She going to fucking prison. You going to fucking prison.
That's still not a win though. She's somewhere. She ain't gonna be sitting there screaming and crying.
It's not a win.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what I'm saying. I mean, it is a win when you ain't doing 20. You give me 4 years. Give me 4 years, and I'll get out. I'll do a year in, you know what I'm saying, in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? That's a win.
What I guarantee you is the fact that all this other shit, and that might be the payday. The fact that all this other shit been going on, and George Floyd, and you know what I'm saying. He died after George Floyd, but it was being like 2 or 3 big fucking cases prior to that.
You know what's weird?
It says that these motherfuckers out here like gunning for us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying?
You know what
Like
Donald
at
Trump
some point,
said? He said Floyd's murder was the death of Floyd will be the best thing that happened to African Americans. I remember looking at him sideways, like, what the fuck did you just say that? Yeah, Trump said that. But then when you in hindsight, like, it's true. Because as soon as that happened, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a big long time where they don't fuck with us at all and shit. Like, you like, oh, there they go. You know what I'm saying? They so scared to be that on the news, the next cop to be on the news. They so scared of that, and everything that happens, all Americas and China's and the whole Japan, everybody on the planet is looking at, you know, our police brutality laws, because if we sit up there and beat it, you know what I'm saying, then maybe their countries can too, because they got some fucked up ass cops.
Let me tell you, like, the fuck shit about that is, like, the motherfuckers like Black Lives Matter, who did all this protesting about these fucking laws, ain't fucking stepping up right now that, you know what I'm saying, we got the murder rate, you know what I'm saying, going through the fucking roof. But I think right now we need to go ahead and acknowledge our sponsor again, Paul.
I got a taste for some greens. I want something different. I mean, some chicken from my famous kitchen where ain't no ingredients missing. Listen, I want a brisket. I want my cornbread distich. Pick up a phone, come get this. They got the biggest sandwiches. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Is that macaroni and cheese up? Is that macaroni and cheese up? Is that macaroni and cheese up? Yup.
I think that shit is all the way live. That little commercial you recorded, yeah. Our famous kitchen. Come and get this food. And I can't think about what raw. I'm trying to
direct to your pizza to that. I thought you were gonna say some shit like that, just smooth ass and shit.
No, I'm just trying to say, like, that's I like that shit.
In your Big Daddy Kane voice.
Fuck you, nigga. Okay, so let's move on to the even though you dead wrong.
Hey, there was something you said.
This,
the black on black crime or whatever.
No. Let's hold off on that.
Yeah.
We gonna get down to it. There's some fuck shit going on, but let's rap about that little opioid shit for a little bit. Let's do that for about a half an hour. So if you got any input on that shit, my thought, what I said once before is, I feel like that shit was gangster. How Big Pharma came in, got a lot of motherfuckers addicted to the shit, but now we in the fucking full throes of the shit. I feel like if a motherfucker overdose from this shit, man, you lightweight. You know what I'm saying? You get what you wanted to have out the business. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is a situation where, Paul, you can definitely say, like, you know, I show some sort of bias because of I seen how they handled the crack epidemic. You know what I'm saying? Now the opioid epidemic is fucking up a lot of motherfuckers who never thought that they would be in any sort of epidemic. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean how they handled the crack epidemic? What do you mean by that?
Because they was locking niggas up for selling crack. They was locking motherfuckers up for smoking crack. You know what I'm saying?
And
they
how
let
does
that,
that
they let
compare
that
to
shit
the
fucking
how does that
fester.
compare to the opioid?
Because
how
these
they handle
motherfuckers
that?
now, what they saying is addiction is a disease. It's not a choice. When black people was getting high and, you know what I'm saying, our community was being decimated by the crack epidemic, and I played my part, and I feel bad for that shit. You know what I'm saying? They said that we was fucking monsters. We some sort of super predators
Can I
and
tell you
shit,
why?
and we was
Can I tell you why? Like,
No, what you can tell me is like what's the fucking difference
I'm about to
between
tell you what the difference is.
like what's the difference between the opioid epidemic and the crack epidemic?
Okay, I'm about to explain to you right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we've talked about this before, you know what I'm saying? But like I remember like probably 8 to 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying? In every state house, you know, they had these little rallies and they wasn't big. It's like 30 motherfuckers and shit. And they all these white people and shit talking about their kids that's on opioids. Oh my God, my baby, my baby. And you see their little, you know, poster that they got, and this baby is like 27 years old. Like, you know, a grown ass motherfucker, you got a bald spot. And shit. What you mean your baby and shit? You know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers is like, you know, I was playing football, you know what I'm saying? And I get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And then they prescribe me these pills, and these pills got me like, whoa, this shit is nice and shit. Then when I get healed up, I'm still gonna lie and say, I'm still fucked up. I'm still fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And then you're just lying to get these pills, and then when they cut you off, then now you gotta steal other people's pills, and then you gotta find a substitute for this and shit right there. So you was duped into it.
You
now
are
crack.
very
No,
compassionate.
this is right here. So, but when it came to the crack and shit, I didn't see none of us at no state capitol buildings and shit protesting. We just there and we exploited. We made movies about it. We had DVDs, crackheads going wild and all that. We had them fighting each other. We had them stealing for us and shit. We had them doing all kind of shit except helping them. And it was our parents, our brothers and sisters and shit. And them was our kids and shit that, listen, motherfuckers was like 15 and shit. Now I'm watching you and shit and you developing. Next thing you know, you 16 and you're a whole crackhead and shit. And it's like, the fuck? And now we in our 40s and 50s and shit and they just now getting off and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but why was it,
because
why wasn't it a disease?
Because we didn't say shit. We didn't say. We kept our fucking
mouth
shut. And we talked about it. We hid it.
But that's
so your mom on crack. You gonna advertise that shit? No, you don't want nobody. You don't invite your girl over or nothing because you don't want your mom and that girl to get. You know your mom.
That's a cultural thing though.
No, but you still could have spoke up and we as a people could have stood up and say, hey, we don't want this in our streets.
They made us the fucking villains of the whole entire shit
because
they
we
saying
allowed
like
them to.
No, what they saying is they flooded our fucking community with this shit, and what they were saying is like these motherfuckers selling this shit are fucking monsters, and these motherfuckers using this shit are motherfucking monsters. Meanwhile, pumping that shit into the hood. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, they gave us a soundtrack to this shit. They gave us everything we fucking needed to fucking tear our fucking community
and
now.
Guess what?
And now this is why.
And it works,
right now,
it
like
works both ways,
they out here buying this motherfucking hood.
First of all, you gotta
hood.
take race out of it. I don't know why y'all think that when you say opioid, you think it's a white person thing. If you were injured or sick, they prescribe this to you. Don't tell me only white people get injured.
No,
don't tell me only white people break their bone and break their legs. The NFL, the NBA, and all that stuff.
It wasn't
on opioid.
Until
it's basketball players right there addicted to it, but they don't want to talk about it because they got some press.
The motherfucking the majority of motherfuckers who got hooked on opioids, and by design of the motherfucking
because the
big
majority
pharma was white motherfuckers.
Right
the shit started. Paul, you don't never do no fucking research on the shit. You just be, you know what I'm saying, talking about the shit.
Your research is somebody else's research.
No, the shit started. The shit started in
we don't care where it started.
Virginia.
We don't care where it started.
In middle class homes.
When we had crack in our neighborhood, we did not save our crackhead family members. We put them out. We kicked them out. We did shit like that right there. We made fun of them. Your mama crackhead. Your mama crackhead. We didn't. Nobody sat there and told nobody nothing. So since anybody doing that, and all the information that people was digging in, they did what with it? If you can sit there and say the government put the crack in the neighborhood, what did you do with this information? Nothing. Meanwhile, if you were a parent of an opioid, listen. If you were a parent with an opioid child and shit, you were at the state house before we.
Because you were.
No, listen.
They weren't getting the money off this shit.
You asked for.
They got us on this side of the shit. They got them. You know what I'm saying? They got us on both sides of the motherfucking shit.
You asked for a question.
Only big farmer is getting paid off the opioid shit. I'm giving you an
answer, and you're talking over the information. Why do you do that? I gave you your time and stuff. And listen, this is what I'm saying right here. When they were sitting up there talking about the opioid and shit, if you look, it wasn't just all white people. We ignored the shit. You know what I'm saying? These white people said, my kids, my grandkids, this is what, and the information that they was getting and shit, like, hold on, the pharmaceuticals did this, and who did this, and who signed off. The information that they getting, they bringing it to Congress. They're hiring lawyers. They getting together and saying, hey, we want this stopped because look what it did to my fucking son. He's dead now. We didn't do that to our people. We didn't do that to our people when it was on crack.
Issue though, you know what I'm saying? Like
no, the systematic part is don't talk to police. Don't even talk to them motherfuckers. That's what our poor black people say is don't talk to them. at all. We don't even want to become them. Let one of your friends be sitting there like, I'm about to go to join the police. You know, we're going to sit there like, oh, you fucking Trey. I done heard this shit. I know a kid that went through this shit in the community calling him a snitch, the ops, and all that shit. So what we want all the police to be white. We want all the police to be white. But when our people want to be firefighters and the police officers and detectives and shit, the community turns on you and make you bad for you. Who's the police, the hood, other than the hood, nigga? I know what the fuck you doing. Hey, I know your type. You all, but you ain't gonna bust a grape. So take your ass home. So I'm gonna give you a chance. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it. I know your fucking type. You ain't the boss. You ain't this. You a nim. You know what I'm saying? You hang around Derek and nim. You's a following ass nigga. I can spot these motherfuckers out, and if I was a police officer, I'd be like, hey, you take your ass home, but you come here, stay the fuck away from him. You know what I'm saying? You gonna know how to handle this shit. But guess what? We don't want to be police officers. We just want to point our fingers and say, look at them, look at them. I mean, they dogged the fuck out of this boy. You know what I'm saying? Then when he got in this motherfucker, this is the story. Every time he come in a new story and shit. They're doing the frisking exercise and shit. So he frisked his partner and shit. Now it's his turn to get frisked. And the white dude say, I bet you used to this, right? He didn't say shit because he ain't want to pull that nigga card yet. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't have to because the other white, it's like 2 or 3 white other people that was in training with him overheard this. And guess what the fuck they did? They went and told. See, a lot of us won't stand up and say shit because we don't even talk to them motherfuckers and shit. But these white motherfuckers, they feel comfortable. They can sit up there and go to the White House. They can go to the White House with guns and shit. The KKK goes to the White House with guns. But if we do a rally, we feel uncomfortable if we bring our guns because that's our right to do so. But we don't know our law. We ain't comfortable with it.
That, though,
because we don't know our law. We're not comfortable with
like
it.
That? Why you
I just gave you an answer. I just gave the answer. You don't know it. We didn't even know you could do that until we watched Malcolm X. I mean, and we sit up there, not Malcolm X, but the Black Panthers. When we sat there and seen the Black Panthers do that shit, you know what I'm saying? They was telling you we have the right. They was telling the police we got the right to bear our arms. Get the fuck out our face. We see this, but we still feel nervous with our gun around the White House. I mean, around the Capitol.
Why?
Because
years of oppression.
But you're watching it happen, but yet still you don't want to be that guy.
I'm telling you what it is. Hey. Like, they done showed us over 400 fucking years that if you
can't
step
keep
out
using
of
that
line,
excuse.
If you step out of line,
these kids don't even know history. So I know more history than you know.
This one, then who knows?
Hey,
get the fuck out of here, Paul. Now you're really talking some bullshit right now. But what I'm telling you is, though, after this experience, all this shit is fucking connected to where we are right now. So if you feel like
you are a weak individual, if you don't open your eyes and look at
African Americans, that's what you saying?
African Americans,
Paul, you calling me weak?
This fucking nation. I don't care where you go. There's an African American sitting in some white kids posterized. You know what I'm saying? This is my dude right here. Man, half the nation, half the world want to be black. Half the world has copied African American. That's what I'm talking about. African Americans is running this. Whatever the fuck African Americans do, that's what the whole world is going to be. You know, that's what we're going to do. That's what
so why
you
could
copy
we flip
us.
That shit?
That's what I'm talking about right there. Some people do, and some people just sit there. If you got a group of African Americans that could be the Barack Obamas and shit, and then you got a group that's saying I can never be that right there. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s, you had motherfuckers say. I remember in the 80s and 90s, you had these stay woke type of motherfuckers like, yeah, that school got you thinking you can be anything you want to be.
What?
These motherfuckers don't know shit about
motherfuckers saying shit like that.
Hold on, watch this right here.
Get the fuck out of here.
You crazy. You get the fuck out of here. You better sit up there and interview every motherfucker like, what do you think Spike Lee was talking about and shit? You nigga, you ain't better than us. You bitter because you ain't in college. So you got to throw that shit on the, you know what I'm saying, that school system. They can't teach you nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's the bullshit that motherfuckers taught us that we keep teaching our kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what make it. You know it's wrong, but we still continue to do the shit. We don't say shit when we so fucking supposed to. We sit around and wait for somebody else. Somebody should do something about this. Why come somebody else got to do it when we sitting right here? We got to wait until somebody on the news gets shot and killed by somebody else that we don't like. That's when we want to group together and march and all that shit. But then time will slip away and go away. Oh, we need to stop this killing in the streets. We need to stop all this killing in the streets and shit. We say this, but after a while it goes off
and we'll
moving
into the other subject. But the opioid epidemic. The problem is, you know what I'm saying, Big Pharma rolled this shit out, made motherfuckers feel like it was okay to take the shit. You know what I'm saying? Got a whole group of middle-class Americans addicted to the shit. And then, you know what I'm saying, let the motherfucking shit flow.
What about the poor Americans that's addicted to it?
So I'm going to talk about that too, because before
Care source paid for all that shit.
No, like before, Big Pharma did what they did as far as the opioids. Motherfucking black people in the hood have been getting addicted to heroin, and you know what I'm saying. Asians are addicted to opiate. I can't remember what it's called, but they've been smoking this shit for hundreds of years. Like motherfucking the opium, the motherfucker has been a fucking problem all the way up, but it never hit the fucking it never hit the white population. And throughout all of this shit,
the hippies was going off everything.
No, I'm talking about
middle class motherfuckers.
I'm talking about how the shit affected us as a culture. Motherfuckers came back from Vietnam, strung the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Brought that shit over here.
They didn't bring it. It was here already.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
You proved to me
heroin?
where heroin was before the 70s.
Smack. That's
the 70s, Paul. You talking about more history than me. I'm breaking it down. Like in the 70s, from after the Vietnam War, that's when the motherfucking heroin really hit our community. You know what I'm saying? And the motherfuckers, again, it wasn't a situation where we can fucking go get this shit. That shit is being brought in and supplied. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers got over here, got hooked on the shit for whatever the fucking reason they hooked on the shit, but they never thought about that shit like it was a fucking disease. It was always looked at like, y'all motherfuckers got a goddamn problem.
Because we didn't stand up and try to make nobody aware.
So like, why wouldn't they?
I remember Dave Chappelle. Remember Dave Chappelle said this shit? He said this right here. He said when the crack epidemic, he said where he lives at, you know what I'm saying? You got opioid motherfuckers. They zombies out in that motherfucker. And he said he said he drives right through them motherfuckers and shit like, none of my problem. He said, now I know how they feel when we was on crack. You know what I'm saying? It ain't they fucking problem. It's our problem. And we didn't want to do nothing about it. But when that opioid shit was their problem, they stood up and did shit about it. I was watching them do this 10 years ago, and I really 10, 15 years ago, I didn't even know, like, they only had like 30 people on the lawn and shit. So 30, and they crying and they crying, and y'all just like the government just swatted them away like flies and shit. But the more you group up and tell people, and you all on Facebook, other parents all over this nation gonna be like, that happened to my son too. That's what made him grow and grow. But we didn't sit up there and mama, you were ashamed. We were ashamed. We didn't talk about our mamas being on crack.
We ain't have nothing, no support system, and not only that, like you gotta trace that shit back.
I think the lady was a dentist. That's the support system. She went out there probably with 3 people that turned 3 people into 6. And you know what I'm saying? What do you mean a support system? How can you have a support system when you're ashamed that it's your brother or you're ashamed it's your grandma or aunt?
Like
you're ashamed your mama on crack. No, she ain't. Yes, the fuck she is.
A true support system is going to see you through that shit and going to have 30 motherfuckers out here protesting or saying whatever they got to say about this shit. But you know what I'm saying? You got to think about all of the fucking dysfunctional shit that affects, like you like to say, poor people.
And poor people want somebody else to help them.
In particular, you know what I'm saying, the black community. You got to think about like how all this shit lined up to kill the motherfucking
we got together
the
George
Black
Floyd.
Panther.
We got together
movement,
for George Floyd.
You know what I'm saying? No,
why did we get together?
How they use these motherfucking tools?
Like this?
The fucking FBI. You know what I'm saying? Like all these motherfuckers was working
right
against
here.
us.
Watch this right here. I done seen churches, and this is no lie. You know, Lincoln Park stand up. These churches came like 140 deep into Lincoln Park and took over every fucking Sunday. They blasted they shit. They walked around and shit. Crackers, way they had all they shit. And guess what? Motherfucker, how you gonna disrespect that? We sat the fuck down and we listened to the music. We watched them shout. We watched them preach and all this shit.
So much crack out of Lincoln Park, though, Paul. It didn't make. Maybe Sunday they shut the shit down, but the rest of the week it was pop.
But they were doing something, and guess what?
And what the fuck happened?
Who the fuck joined them? It was
what the fuck happened?
Wait till they get finished doing it. Oh, she bad over there. Hey, look at her with that big ass right there. Okay, sister. You know what I'm saying? We didn't take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, who did they touch? They touched nobody because half of the motherfuckers that lived in Lincoln Park wanted them to. I can't wait till they leave. You know what I'm saying? So where was the support? You know what I'm saying? When they came 140 deep, they left 140 deep. They didn't leave 141 deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you teaching?
Like, the direct correlation between who we are today
you can't tell me nobody was slavery. And nobody listen right here. As you driving down the street, you know what I'm saying? You will see a church and it will have some the Lord sells the best crack here. That means get off the street and come to church and shit. You know what I'm saying? You had a bunch of people that was, I mean, even this right here, you had even Nancy Reagan and shit. You know, hey, watch this commercial right here. You had the crackhead and then you had the crack addict. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna buy crack so I can work longer, so I can make more money, so I can buy more crack.
Again, history. When they had slaves working on the docks, they supplied them with cocaine so that they can work longer, harder, non-fucking stop. You know what I'm saying?
And then it was outlawed. That was the first drug outlaw.
But listen, and how they outlaw the shit. They say these niggas going crazy. They get cocaine and they raping white women. And that's all it took to fucking slow the shit down.
And even though the law said that was illegal to do, after they said that right there, you had a lot of them that still gave it to their slaves. You're going to break the law. You know what I'm saying? If it's profitable for you, you're going to, or if it makes you feel good, you're going to break the law.
But this is what I'm saying, though, Paul. It's even that thought process that leads us to where we are or where we were in the fucking 90s when it came to the 80s, 90s when it came to crack, and where the shit broke off when it came to the opioid epidemic.
My point is,
you know what I'm
right
saying?
Here, like, even though you done got laws passed and all that, did it make the opioids disappear?
No, you know what they did?
To wait till it
they made a law for hard coke over soft coke when it's exact fucking same thing. And
y'all did. Y'all did.
Y'all
did. And I'm going to tell you why y'all did. Because we vote for whoever our parents are. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Democrats.
Like, this is the same nigga said Ronald Reagan was the best president in the world.
No, I didn't. I said financially he was. You know what I'm saying?
You know what he
better
did?
Google it.
He
You better Google
that
it.
Shit.
You better Google it. You know what I'm saying?
He blazed that shit. He the
Google
one.
It. Google it right now. Google it right now. Google it right now.
It was Republicans and Democrats
who
came up with these fucking
Obama
laws
is second.
That ended
you made more money with Reagan than you did any other president right there. You can Google this right now. You know, I mean, everybody did.
We did.
Come on now, crack was in. Who wasn't selling crack and having fun and doing this and all this right there?
And at the same time, we decimated our fucking community.
But if you listen
because Ronald Reagan pumped that shit.
Can you right here? Let me explain to you right here. Sometimes you ask questions you don't want to answer to it. You just like throwing it in the air and shit like this. Let me break it down to you. I'm gonna break it all the way down to you when I say, you know what I'm saying, y'all did. You know what I'm saying? We don't even listen to who the Democrat is. We just gonna vote him in. And you know what I'm saying? And y'all talking about some how come this? But it was what's her name? The Clintons. It was the Clintons and shit, and you know, and it was Biden. You know what I'm saying? And it was.
I agree.
Bernie Sanders was the only motherfucker that said, if you want to get rid of coke, if you want to get rid of crack, get rid of cocaine. Make the penalty stiffer for cocaine because you can't make crack without cocaine. The Democrats said fucking no, and they did that to you, and you voted this motherfucker in. Then y'all voted this. Hold on, because y'all never listen. Y'all just sit there and say, long as he's a Democrat. Listen to what I want y'all to do right here. Watch this right here. Next time you have a president, the next president coming up, when you watch this shit, they throw each other under the fucking bus. They told us about Condoleezza Rice. They told us in our fucking face, and she sat there speechless. You bitch, you knew what the fuck you did to our fucking people twice. You know what I'm saying? And you just sat there, and we gonna vote this bitch in again. We watched this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And y'all just voted on him just because he's a Democrat. That's it. And y'all sit up there and do the dumbest shit to Bernie Sanders and shit. Bernie Sanders, you know, in Hillary Clinton's emails, it said we gotta get rid of him. You know, we gotta set him up because he will not take a bribe. This man said, I'm like 80-something years old. I'm already rich. I don't need no more money. He's been marching with Dr. Martin Luther King. Like, he does everything. He's there for the people. But we don't want to vote him in because he's old. But we're gonna sit up there and fuck with some Clintons. You know what I'm saying? And Biden's punk ass. You know what I'm saying? Their names is on that shit. And you wonder why. You wonder why the crack laws was like that, because we voted the motherfuckers in to do that shit to us. Because we don't even listen to what the fuck we voting for.
Damn, Paul, you went
ham. I mean, when you watch the Republicans ain't shit either. Listen. When you sit up there and watch what the next presidential
debate, I don't fuck with either one of them. I don't fuck with no Democrats or Republicans.
Listen to what the Republicans
and Paul,
a
lot of shit that you saying is backing up my perspective. Period. Point blank.
Then you can't complain about what you
and at the same time, I ain't voting shit. At the same time, you sitting here like, how can you say this and that, and then you go on a tangent and say, My people. Like, who the fuck are your people? It don't seem like your people the same people as my people. When I'm sitting here telling
your
you,
people
like,
is not listening. That's what I'm saying. Your people and my people is like, it's different. I got an audience every single fucking day. I put some shit. I let your kid know, like, the way you acting right now, you're gonna be the best 35-year-old dishwasher at Applebee's and shit. Cause you need your fucking education. Fuck who can fight. And I'm better than you in fight. Which one of y'all motherfuckers can read the fastest? Cause y'all ain't used to reading out loud. To make that your motherfucking goal and shit. Fuck who can hit harder and who got knockout power. Get the fuck out of here. Once you learn some shit, you know what I'm saying? People don't want to learn because they stuck in their ways and shit.
Why are they stuck in their ways?
They stuck it. Listen right here. Black people, stop brainwashing other fucking black people. We listen to brainwashed by our own motherfucking people. I said this a long time ago when motherfucker we the only race of people that don't get along. Stop saying dumb shit like that.
So listen, are black people being
African Americans or black people? We gotta break that shit down.
Or whoever you,
because we got our own culture.
Whoever you deem, are black people being affected by say, I don't listen to a lot of this shit, but no, I'm gonna tell you, it was one song that it was on the radio. That shit was on the radio every day. The shit was like,
goes the weasel.
No. The shit was like, no, hold on, slow the fuck down, Paul. No, it was like Molly Percocets, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the first time I turned on the radio. This is when I was in my, you know what I'm saying, like seeking God, righteous little movement and shit.
You're a hypocrite,
Paul. Molly Percocets.
Bushwick Bill talked about raping people and then shooting them and eating their corpses and shit. You know, come on, we listen to that shit. You know, it's
are you saying that's the same thing as Molly? Like a motherfucker just repeating over and over again, Molly Percocets, and the motherfuckers out here saying like drink lean and do this, and it's happening a fucking. It's not.
It's happening already.
I guarantee you, it's someplace in the fucking corner of fucking America that ain't never heard of a fucking Percocet, ain't never heard of fucking lean, who turn on the fucking radio and hear this shit and they like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
I tell you this right here. You know what I'm saying? When you go back in time and shit, we was rolling big fat blunts before we seen the motherfuckers on TV. And shit, we was already doing that shit.
Wasn't no music promoting that shit.
We was already drinking.
Wasn't no motherfuckers from out of towners out here bumping that shit. You know what I'm saying?
You're not listening to me right here. You act like rap. You know what I'm saying? Like rap. As a rapper, you just make shit up and shit, and then people will follow. No, it's shit you rap about what's already happening.
No, you rap about what the fuck is selling, so you can make a come up too. You know what I'm saying? Like if this is what the fuck they talking about now, everybody. No, listen.
All you see. Like people got options.
But this is what I'm saying. It is options.
Like yesterday, I woke up in France, and then
can I talk? Give me 5 seconds, though.
No, you waking up.
Listen,
people ain't never left
we had the whole fucking conversation about that shit. About the fact that if you got a fucking choice, we was right here. We had the whole conversation. At the end of the conversation, I said, if you got a fucking choice, don't choose this fucking shit. For me, it was never a fucking choice. This was the fucking environment that I fucking came up in.
Old people thought.
Didn't nobody? You call me what you I'm almost fucking 50. I don't give a fuck. Call me what you want. But this is what I'm telling you is I didn't have a fucking choice. So now, what's causing motherfuckers to choose the street shit over the square shit?
Pussy.
It ain't no fucking pussy.
Can I explain
that's a small portion. It's no. Come on.
You ask questions. Let me answer that one at a time.
You said pussy. Now let me explain why it's not pussy, Paul. Let me explain to you why it's not pussy.
Can I explain to you why? So you can have a counter. You have to counter. You can't counter something that you never even heard first of all.
Because I know it ain't pussy.
I watch so many.
I know it ain't pussy.
I know. So you gonna overtalk me? We just heard you right here. So watch this right here. This is what I'm saying right here. First of all, as adults, how is it possible that you completely forgot what it's like to be 8, 10, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20. You know what I'm saying? You totally are fucking different. Invincible when you 20 fucking years. A billion motherfucking people is in your ear. Boy, stay away from so. You stay out these streets. Be home before we do the fucking complete opposite because we fucking invincible. But now you want to be grown and say and shake your head at shit that you would have did in that same situation because you're not mature. Your brain ain't even 100%. You know what I'm saying? It just filtered in. Yet you ain't number 18, 19. You think you know it all. You think you do. You know we did dumb shit like this. When you about to sell dope to a motherfucker, we say, hey, are you affiliated with the police? And if they say no, then it's okay to give them motherfucking, no, they supposed to lie, they undercover. Like they gonna tell you the truth. Well, you got me. I actually do have a badge. You know, we actually literally thought that dumb motherfucking shit.
Paul.
And you gonna criticize motherfuckers for thinking dumb just like you did?
No, Paul. What
Do
I'm
I need to
saying
sit here
is-
and name all 15,000 dumbs shit that I seen? You know what I'm saying? That I seen Giddy do. Number 18.
No,
Okay. Remember that one time?
listen. No, this is what I'm telling you though. I grew up in an environment that dictated. Not for half of these motherfuckers. Didn't nobody fucking tell me not to. Didn't nobody.
Yes,
I swear to God, I had no fucking guidance throughout my whole entire childhood. Up to adolescence, up to, you know what I'm saying, young manhood. I had to fucking learn the hard way not to fucking do that shit.
I know you're 3, but you're going to make your own damn cereal. That ain't what happened to you. Somebody loved you. You know what I'm saying? I remember that bicycle
Paul,
story. He
Paul.
gonna tell you that somebody stole your bike, and what did somebody make your ass do? Oh, that wasn't you.
Nah,
somebody else. You got
that was in the projects, but you know what I'm saying? My mom made me go out and it wasn't even my shit. It's my little brother's shit got took and sent me out there to fucking go get the shit back.
And what
you know what I'm saying? I learned
to love your brother. Don't fuck with my brother.
I learned, little nigga, sit your ass down. Don't be out here fucking with these motherfucking monsters, these fucking wolves out here. Because I gotta go out here and to fucking defend your
and
shit.
Allow them
or
to steal your
when
bike.
my mom be like, the fucking teenagers out there sitting on their car, like go out there and tell them to get off my car. I'm like, why the fuck would you send a fucking 8-year-old out here to talk to a fucking teenager about sitting in your car, knowing these motherfuckers gonna smack the shit out? And you sitting safely from the fucking front door looking at these motherfuckers smack the shit out of me.
I can't imagine that because I had Mean Colleen as my mom right there. So she'd have been the first motherfucker there.
I ain't gonna talk down about my mom. Only thing I'm gonna say is, like, I grew up in this fucking environment and had, this is why
you seen some positivity.
No. It was few and far in between. It wasn't enough for me to know that I had a fucking choice in fucking life. I'm out here fucking living day by day as this fucking shit came. You know what I'm saying? You say that shit, but I'm telling you the honest God truth. And it wasn't until 2000 when I went back and got my fucking GED and I made up in my mind like I was going to do better or different that my fucking, you know what I'm saying? I began, or it was like 93, my daughter was born. When the fucking first seed was planted, like I gotta fucking do better. I gotta fucking do different. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know what I'm saying? You were.
Hey, them stories is fucking amazing too. But carry on.
Fuck you, Paul. I'm simply saying.
You went through some
I'm
shit.
simply saying that, you know what I'm saying? It took all of this from 73 to 93. I had no fucking guidance. 93, my daughter was born. I still had no guidance, but I determined that I had to do something better with my fucking life.
But if you
from 93 to 2021,
compare it to, how'd you do that? You had nothing to compare it what made you know it was right?
Listen,
if all you seen was wrong,
I had no fucking idea. It was all trial and error, and I was still fucking up. Just like I told you about the story about Atlanta. Going to Atlanta was the best thing I could have ever did for myself at that particular moment, but I still had no skill set to tell me this is right, this is wrong. I'm just going through this shit. I'm trying to live this shit. I'm trying to figure this shit out.
Life though, life don't ain't got no.
But Paul, you the same motherfucker saying like, you know what I'm saying? If you a certain support system or a certain situation would dictate that you move like this or you move like that. What I'm telling you is,
I'm explaining to you right here. This is what I tell my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't shit if you can't control your own fucking self. Cause you mad. That's what you did, Ray J. You ain't even got control.
I'm glad they got you as a father because I didn't fucking have that shit.
My mom had a mental problem. You know what I'm saying? And I learned this when I was 12 and shit. The shit that she would do is like, that's not normal people shit. You know what I'm saying? So instead of, like I tell everybody, stop leaving your family. I don't fuck with them no more. No, that ain't what you do. You got to learn them. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to love them. You got to learn with the dodge and learn all this shit right there. My mom did. My mom had a belt around her neck, and it was like an accessory and shit. Like, she's everywhere. She's Social Security officer where they're like, beep, beep, like, no, that's a weapon. Can y'all please? Y'all ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was everywhere. Furniture will move. I don't give a fuck where you at and shit. Fuck you, Mr. Eisenhower, for letting my mom, you know what I'm saying, come in.
This is the second time you went on Mr. Eisenhower. This is like you could use this platform to blast the shit out
Kenny
this
Rogers,
motherfucker, man.
He used to suck his fingers. He used to suck 2 fingers. Ken Rogers, you know, so he sucked 2 fingers and shit, and it was just nasty because he used to pass your papers back. And one paper, and he sat right in front of me now. I had that wet spot, like, I hate you. You know what I'm saying? But your furniture was moving. You got hit with that belt too, you know, as front because he was a big dude. I thought I could hide behind you, but nah, he's a quick little dude and shit. You know, he left me there too. Fuck you, Mr. Eisenhower. But yeah.
Damn. Fuck you, Mr. Eisenhower.
That let me know, like, that actually taught me how to raise this is why I don't whoop my kid. That's the first thing you do, Mom, is the belt. You know, have you ever got whooped out your sleep? The first 3 slaps is like part of the dream or some shit. And it's like, pat, pat, pat. And then you're like, oh shit. You think cause you can play fainting and shit. You can do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? She still ain't gonna stop until she's tired or whatever. But I got to do the opposite. If I felt that's wrong, if I know that's wrong, then I'm going to do the complete opposite of
I agree.
What you do.
But also, what I think though is them tactics that raised you, that raised me, that raised Raw, because he talked about the shit a little bit, especially on that episode where I was gone. And I'm gonna get on you, Raw, motherfucker. But you know what I'm saying? Like we go. But hold on, wait. You know what I'm saying? Them same tactics it took to raise us to be who we are. Even though I did a lot of fucked up shit in the process. It's got to be some value in it, because I sit here and I look at you as one of my best friends, and I say you a good dude. I sit here, I look at you, guy. I say you a good dude. I look at Raw. I feel like after everything is said and done, especially since, you know what I'm saying, I raised my kids up, like I am a good dude. So it's got to be something good in there. No, it's and for, like, we also discussed about women who
settling. It ain't.
No, listen. We also discussed about women who raise their sons like they boyfriends and spoiling their kids. Like, it's got to be some fucked up shit going on there. That's got to,
No,
it's
something simple as this right here. You know what I'm saying? There's a child right now. You know what I'm saying? Your clothes ain't too fresh or whatever. There's a way you don't fit in. You really can't be yourself. Your pants,
man, that's
your
life.
shoes is fucked up and all that right here. And you look over and that person's got the flyest shit. They all popping and everybody like them because of that right there. So when you get grown and you have children in your own, you don't want your child ever to be that person. You know what I'm saying? At all. So that's why you spoil your child, as long as my kid popping. Because it's bad enough, it's hard enough to learn.
Did you spoil your kids like that? Like you talking?
Listen, it's hard enough to learn. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? It's even harder.
Did you spoil your kids like that, Paul?
I know you asked me that twice. But it's even harder for your kid to learn. And because of something irregular in their clothes or hair or whatever, the whole school is clowning you, or your speech or something that you don't want, your parents don't want to solve for you and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because come on, the shit that we spend on ourselves, we can equally do that with our children. I don't care about that. I just don't like to force that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you don't force that. Your kid 4 years old got on all that white and it's 4 o'clock in the evening and he ain't dirty or nothing. And I'm gonna put Cheeto fingerprints on your back. Kids supposed to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Did I spoil my kids? Yes and fucking no. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have.
That's what I'm saying.
I was that motherfucker in the motherfucking library and shit. Like 4 motherfuckers. You in there because it was $12 for the field trip to go to the zoo, and the whole fucking school went and shit. And you ain't had the money and shit. So y'all just sitting there and you gotta watch motherfuckers come back with their trinkets and all this shit. It's memorabilia, and I'm like, fuck your memorabilia. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's in you. All 4 of you ate lunch in that motherfucker. Everything. No, my kid is not going to do that. You got me fucked up. When you going on a field trip, that's gonna be paid.
They gonna ball out.
I'm gonna give you some money so you won't be me. You won't be me at the motherfucking zoo if it was a free zoo and just watching people buy shit and eat the ice cream and the shit. And I already ate my school lunch shit, that little bag of bullshit. You know, that's not gonna happen. My kids stay on honor roll and shit. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, kids, as long as you do what you're supposed to first.
Okay. All right. I think that's a good way to end the opioid part of this conversation, but Paul, we ain't even talk about opioids really. Like, you on some bullshit over there.
We talked about all that. We talked about the weakness of a lot of African Americans to make a stand. We waiting for somebody else to do it, and then we'll, you know how difficult.
Nah, that ain't it. But Paul,
it is. We don't say that.
I feel like with that being said, like
watch them say something.
That
and shit pop. Shit
that
happens.
shit stems from a perception of yourself as a African American.
The evidence that, you know what I'm saying, brought the crack to the black neighborhood. That just stayed in the neighborhood as just talk. Nobody sat up there and said we're gonna protest, like as if, you know what I'm saying, George Floyd, you know what I'm saying, was assassinated. Like we can get together, black people, we could get together and move so much shit. Like everybody say, if we all just sit up there and for a month, stop buying shit. you know what I'm saying, out of place. Just keep it in the black community, the black story. If we do that, watch shit just shut the fuck down nationwide. You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree.
America will be like, what the fuck did we do? Hold on, what did we do?
agree.
Hilfiger, what did you do? Was it you, Hilfiger? You know what I'm saying? They gonna try to find something way to appease us and shit. So imagine if we had that same power to do the shit that we want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because if we sit there and shut shit down, you know how many racists gonna shut shit down right with us? Today in time, we ain't doing shit by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You have when George Floyd was assassinated over there in Japan, they protesting.
Hold that thought, and let's acknowledge our sponsor right now, Our Famous Kitchen. I remember how Our Famous Kitchen began, and I think like this podcast actually began in Our Famous Kitchen because while shit is on the smoker cooking up, and why you know what I'm saying, why we just be all sitting around just talking shit, going through the little process in the while the food is being made. So Our Famous Kitchen, our sponsor. Go ahead and hit that shit, Paul.
And tip the delivery person. That's some foul motherfuckers. You know how many people don't tip? You have to tip. I don't care what you do. If it's a service, tip.
I got a taste for some greens. I want something different. I mean, some chicken from My Famous Kitchen where ain't no